So we've got Domenico D'Alterio, Journey to AIOps and Operational Resiliency. If you could please put any questions you have in the chat so they can be answered as we go along. And welcome to the session. And I'll now hand over to Domenico.
Thank you, Anna. So good morning, everybody. I'm Domenico D'Alterio. I'm Senior Product Manager in IBM. And today I will bring you through this presentation to show you what is the journey to IOPS and operational resiliency. And I will show you all the elements that in IBM will help you in this journey. So as Anna was mentioning earlier, as usual, JC UK conference is helping, let's say, for charities, is looking for charities from the participants. So if you enjoy this presentation and others, please consider to show your appreciation even by kindly donating to the JC UK conference charities. You see this year, it is for Royal National Lifeboat Institute and guide dogs for the blind. You can follow the link in your receipt, enter the amount that you want to donate with the receipt number. And here you can find all the information. The presentation is available in the web conference website. So let's start with the content of this presentation. I will start with the challenges because we usually look at the challenges that our users, customers, and people are facing. And then I will give you an overview of the IOPS framework that IBM created to help have a structured way for the journey to IOPS. And then as part of the framework, I will give you an overview of all the offerings that we have in the IBM portfolio to help you in this journey to IOPS with link and indication of the different sessions where you can have more detailed information on one or another offering and solution. And at the end, there will be a list of resources that you can leverage even offline after the session. So let's start with the challenges. And we interviewed dozens of CIO and CTO, so to identify what are the challenges that they are facing in today's world. And you will see that there are some challenges that are somehow in common or have the same root cause, while others are more specific to the different role in the companies. So for CIOs, they are struggling because they would like to have more and more innovation in their enterprise. However, we know that any innovation can create some degradation in stability of the environment. And instability means incidents, and incidents means business cost. We saw that 9 out of the more than 2,000 incidents per month will be critical, and they will cost up to 139K each hour on average. And so for this reason, they know that up to 70% of the team is just busy in keeping what is already available and alive in their environment alive and stable. Moreover, when an incident occurs, the CIO are struggling with the fact that to detect the root cause analysis and diagnose complex issues can take days. And the challenge is mainly with silos team. So teams that are focused on their domain with a say a pure communication or very hard communication between the different domain teams. And it's something that is a challenge even for the operational teams that struggle with different tools for the different domain with the different and so inconsistent alerts across the different sources. And so the challenge is to share the data between the different parts of the operational teams. Finally, a challenge that is very specific to mainframe world is that 10% of the full-time employee have 90% of the critical expertise. In the meantime, the expert people on mainframe are retiring, and so companies are struggling with the generational shift. They are hiring young talent that are talented, but by the way, they are not very experienced on mainframe, usually historical, let's say, and traditional interfaces. And so it takes time to have them effective and productive on mainframe tools like the service management and system management tools. To help with those challenges, with IBM, we identified 3 specific areas where the IOPS can help. The first one is the ability to accurately identify emerging problems. So the first phase is be able to, across an hybrid environment, identify problems as soon as they happen or even before. Once the problem has been identified, it is important to get the incident properly assigned with context and insight. So the people that is assigned to solve the problem, the incident, have the sooner all the information they need to deep dive and to analyze the problem and to take decision. Once the problem has been identified and the root cause of the problem has been identified and the diagnosis of the problem has been performed, it is needed to be able to fix the problem in a quick way to reduce the impact on the business. So we have different phases that we will go through every incident. The first one is the ability to connect information that you have available on mainframe to identify a problem, reducing the noise and the, let's say, false alarm to get the relevant context and to provide it to the people that will analyze the problem. The analysis can be even the result of a collaboration across different team members. And once the problem is solved the first time, you want even to automate the response to the same problem if it will happen again in the future, to have it fixed automatically in the future. To implement this IOPS journey, in IBM we identified 3 major phases. So the first one is the detect across data silos that allows you to detect problems as soon as they happen, or even to detect anomalies in your environment that are like an alert for a problem that is coming, for a problem that is happening. Once the detect phase is completed, you need to move to the decide phase. That is the phase where the issues are analyzed, anomalies are identified, and will help you to isolate the problem, to identify the root cause of the problem. And finally, as I say, there is the act phase that will help you to rapidly respond, reduce the input on your customer with improved resiliency due to the problem. All of the phases can be then automated, or with the help of the automation, you can reduce the time to identify the problem, to diagnose a problem, and to fix the problem through automation with the help of the artificial intelligence. So now in the rest of the presentation, we'll go through the 3 different phases: detect, decide, and act. And we will see what are the, let's say, the different capabilities that we identified, and what is the offering that provides the capabilities to help you in this journey to AIOps. So for the detect, the incident identification, we have identified 3 major capabilities, 3 major areas that will help you to detect an incident. The first one is the monitoring and observability, where monitoring observability means having a full set of tools that allows you to have a full stack monitoring with all the best practices for an early detection of the incident. The second phase, the second feature, the second value add of the detect phase is the ability to have a tracking end-to-end across hybrid cloud application for application performance management. The third one, with the help of artificial intelligence, is the ability to intelligently detect anomalies to avoid costly incidents. So we go through the, let's say, traditional performance management with the collection of all the KPI and metrics for the system, subsystem, and applications, to the correlation of metrics and performance management KPI at application level across the different platforms, to the possibility to detect a problem, an anomaly, detect a problem based on the comparison of what's normal versus what's happening today if there is an anomaly. So let's go through each of them one by one. For monitoring and observability, we have an offering that is called IBM Monitoring Suite that basically collects all the Omegamon agents that are available for the different system and subsystem on mainframe. And it provides application-centric monitoring, including all the dependent components. As part of the IBM Monitoring Suite, there are available common dashboards for problem escalation. Common dashboards are provided with the usual interface on the 3270 panel, even with the enhanced 3270 panels, as well as in TAP, the Tivoli Enterprise Portal. And more recently, it's available even in IBM Service Management Explorer, that is a new web app running on the web app of Zoe. Through this offering, you can perform intelligent event correlation across the entire stack to assist to a rapid problem isolation. Moreover, as part of the Z-Monitoring Suite, there is the integration with AIOps, and you will see more in the next few slides, for a timely communication to stakeholders like the subject matter expert. A bank in South Africa leveraged the IBM Z-Monitoring Suite to monitor the JVM and the ZOS Connect end-to-end Enterprise Edition API statistics. The impact was to the ability to capture purely performing API quickly and for faster escalation. Going through the details of the IBM Z-Monitoring Suite, you can see here on the right few screen capture of the different dashboards and different interfaces where you can have a full view of all the performance management metrics as collected by the Omegamon agents, as well as the integration with AIOps that allows you to notify subject matter expert quickly in the chat tool they use in their environment. An important news that is coming soon, it will be announced in a few days, is the support for popular open visualization analytic platform like Splunk, Elastic, or Grafana of the metrics collected by the Omegamon agents. For more detail on the IBM Z-Monitoring Suite, I invite you to join a session tomorrow. It's the session 3AK. It will be delivered by Ash, my colleague in UK, with what's new in the Omegamon space. Moving forward, as I see, the second capability of the detect area is the ability to correlate metrics and information coming from the resources together with information coming from hybrid application running on distributed or in a cloud. It will eliminate the silos between in order to have a full a total app monitoring. So it will engage no default in problem identification. In this case of application performance management, the product, the offering that we have to provide those capabilities is IBM Z APM Connect. It is integrated with App Dynamics and Instana, and in the integration with App Dynamics, there is an important US financial service institute that gained end-to-end and tracking visibility across hybrid cloud application for faster problem isolation in hybrid applications. So with the IBM Z APM Connect, you can have a view like this, where you have all the components running on the different platforms, all connected, and you can drill down in one or the other to understand where a problem is really located. In this way, you can avoid to have the war room, big war rooms where everybody tries to say, this is not my problem, but the other problem, because you have a complete view of the different components running on different platforms. And for each component, the subject matter expert can be alerted and identify the problem. To understand more and to have a more detailed session on the IBM Z-APM Connect, I invite you today, later at 3:30 p.m. UK time, with a session with Aaron, the architect of IBM Z-APM Connect. He will show all the best and all the news on this product. The third area of the detect, as I said, is the anomaly detection. So up to now, we were observing what happened and what the metrics, the performance metrics from the mainframe side or integrated with the hybrid cloud application at a different level. In this case, we are leveraging the machine learning to deliver intelligent anomaly detection to avoid cost incident. So through this product, it will be possible to model the normal operation of your environment with historical data and to detect operational anomalies across both metrics and log data. An alert will be sent to IT operation for anomalous behavior with anomalous events. An important US airlines was able to leveraging the machine learning to detect anomalous log messages to avoid 4 instances in 12 months rolling period that would lead to a broader system and passenger issues. So let's take a quick look of more details on what IBM Z Anomaly Analytics with Watson provide as offering. So as said, it gained visibility into the normal operation. It created a baseline based on the historical data of what is the behavior of your environment. It is based on information coming from SMF records and log data and traces, and it creates the baseline that will be then in near real time scored against the data that comes at this moment. Pre-built KPI models are available for DB2, KICS, and Q, and more will come. So for each of those areas, you will have a view of what is normal, what is happening today, and if there is any anomalous message that have never seen before, or that the frequency of that message, for example, is atypical, or if they appear out of sequence with respect to the normal behavior. You have the possibility to notify operators of anomalous behavior to proactively identify and act on potential environment issue before they lead to broader impact. So the power here is leveraging machine learning, leveraging the historical data and creating the baseline and comparing the current behavior with the baseline. You can really identify a problem before it happens, before it affects your environment and your customer. Later today at 2 p.m., then we will have a session specific on this IBM offering. The session is the session 3AD. Moving ahead in the IOPS framework, the second phase that we identified is the design. So it is where we provide tools to help you in the decision making based on the analysis of the problems and mainly based on the analysis of all the information that are related to the problems to identify the root cause of the problem. In this area, we have 4 different capabilities or features. The first one is the ability to have metrics that are cross-domain with trace analysis that enable you to detect bottleneck in the code in server resources or with external resource dependencies. We have an offering for log analytics, so that allows you to have a deep dive analysis on the logs and the data coming from the SMF records. The possibility to have the result of a correlation, real-time correlation between ZOS subsystems. And finally, one important part of the design is the ability to identify needs for additional hardware resources in advance. It is an offering and a capability that will help you with the capacity planning for forecasting the future needs in your environment based on historical usage and trends. Let's go through each of them in more details. For the cross-domain metrics and trace analysis, the offering is again the IBM Monitoring Suite, but in this case, we don't look only at the gathering of the performance management data, but we have even the ability to leverage machine learning analytics for a rapid root cause analysis identification through cross subsystems. You can obtain an integrated view of hybrid application infrastructure and understand interdependencies, and with the integration which AIOps, you can ensure timely communication to the stakeholders. We have a bank in Ireland that was able to enable domain expert to diagnose application bottleneck quickly, leveraging those features of the IBM Monitoring Suite. Again, coming soon, there is the streaming of the Omega metrics, even in popular analytics and visualization platform, to use artificial intelligence and machine learning for anomaly detection with added insight. But on top of it, what is already available today, this is the link from high-level dashboard and AIOps to detailed dashboard to resolve the problems. So here, no longer you only have the visualization of the performance management metrics, but you are even able to drill down on the specific country space or on the specific KICS region to have very detailed metrics to help you in the diagnosis of the problem identified, in the discovering the understanding of the root cause of the problem. There is even a connection with Watson IBM for even correlation with information coming from different sources. An important feature is the ability to identify all the Java virtual machine and even to have statistics on the ZOS Connect Enterprise Edition APIs. Again, there is a session tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. on the Z Monitoring Suite and what's new in Omega. In terms of log analytics, the offering that we have is the IBM Z Operational Log and Data Analytics. With this offering, you are able to collect all the data related to SMF records and logs coming from mainframe once and stream them in to multiple targets in near real time using a single out-of-the-box solution. What is important is that sometimes you don't want to send all the data that you are able to collect to all the targets or even to specific targets for multiple reasons. On some targets, the cost is based on the data that you ingest. And so it is important to be able to send only the data that you really need. And for this reason, this offering is provided with advanced data filterings that give you full control on your operational data. You can control what data to send to which target with filtering that are even inside the single SMF record. Another reason why the filtering capability is so important is to avoid to send data that are sensitive or that you don't want to share outside mainframe or your team. And so you can even filter based on some enterprise rules or your team constraints. Avis IT, that is a company in Slovenia, was able to gain visibility in Splunk for all the data, adding the IBM Z operational data in the Splunk dashboard they created to keep under monitoring their enterprise for a faster isolation of problem in the hybrid applications. Going in more details on what log analytics with IBM Z operational log and data analytics provide, it provides the stream of the widest breadth of Z operational data in real time to your analytic platforms within IBM Z Common Data Provider. But on top of the streaming, what is provided with this offering is even a set of out-of-the-box dashboard to quickly visualize operational data, health of IBM Z's system, identify potential issue. You can see here there are dashboards available on Splunk or on Elastic that already provides you, without any additional, let's say, customization or investment, a visualization of the operational data. To learn more about this offering, feel free to join the session 3 AP that is on Tuesday this week at 2 p.m. Then Weekend will explain you all the power of this product. And then another offering that we have is the IBM ZOS Workload Interaction Navigator. And it is the offering that will allow you to have anomaly correlation within the job running on mainframe. It dynamically recognizes anomalies in a single time interval with no prior workload knowledge. So it is a near real-time correlation that happens on the data that are available now without any need to train the model or the historical data. Anomalous activities are temporarily correlated and contextually prioritized to present only the most impactful issues. IBM use it, and IBM support use this tool to assist our clients with diagnosis critical performance issues, and IBM ZOS support has been able to quickly identify the root cause of operational issues in all cases presented. So this offering is based on IBM ZOS Workload Interaction Correlator that provides data for IMS, KICS, and DB2. It enables the correlation between the job based on their priority, their size, and the core type they use, providing a nice dashboard in Zoe, because it runs on the application in Zoe web desktop, with correlation across different subsystems, analyzing the data from a single helper or from an entire sysplex. To have more details on this offering, feel free to join the session 3BB that is again delivered by Dan Wiegand. It will happen on Wednesday, November 10 at 2 p.m. Moving ahead, we say that one important part of the side is the ability to have an outlook of what are the resources needed, or even have an outlook on the performance of your environment. For this reason, we identify the performance and capacity planning feature as part of the framework that allows you to access to curated performance management data. So the main difference between this offering and the monitoring offering is that the monitoring offerings provide you performance management metrics detailed for what's happening now. With this offering, the IBM Z performance and capacity analytics, you have analytics on the performance of your environment in the last day, week, month. All the information are updated in real time, and on top of the historical data, the tool provides you the capability to forecasting the resource needed and the performance for the future, so you can accurately plan for the needs that you have. A US bank was able to leverage this offering to standardized forecasting capability with improved accurate usage and capacity planning reports. Moreover, it provides a what-if impact in case of environmental changes, and it enables you to manage workload under the new tailored fit pricing model to help you in optimizing the use of resources. So looking at more details on what are the features provided as part of the IBM Z Performance and Capacity Analytics, you see that you gain access to the key performance metrics in near real time for faster decision making. The part that is important is when I was the owner of this product and I was interviewing our customers in the capacity planning and performance management planning activity, most of the customers, most of the users were using plenty of tools to collect the data, to forecast what is the future need. And it was a long time activity. Then at the end, it was mainly, I wouldn't say a guess, but based really on the experience of the capacity planner, the forecasting for future needs. With this tool, you have everything in one single offering, starting from the collection of the data, going up to the what is the expected behavior and the expected needs for resources in the future in one single tool. Moreover, now with the what-if analysis, you can simulate changes in your environment to understand if it will allow you to have the needed resources to run the business or what is needed. I remember a customer in France some time ago said to me, I need to know if I will have to purchase additional hardware or I have to add additional resources to my environment 6 months before I have that need, because I need the time to negotiate with the vendor the purchase of additional hardware or resources. Through this product, you are able now to really forecast the need of your environment well in advance. Then another important feature of the IBM Z Performance and Capacity Analytics is the ability to tie the utilization of IT resources to business entities. It enables you to have an effective cost management and chargeback to the different departments of the IT resources that you have in your environment. And finally, I said, you can track the performance and consumption under the tailored fit pricing with specific dashboard that will help you to optimize the workload and will help you to lower the bill that you have to pay due to the resource utilization. So it's a so complete product with so many, so different features that we have 2 sessions that will focus the first one on managing and optimize workload in a consumption-based world. That is the session 6AO, and it will be delivered on Thursday, November 4th at 12 at noon by Chris Walker. Another session is more about the capacity planning feature in hybrid cloud world and performance management that will be delivered instead of Wednesday, November 10 at noon by Chris Walker as well. The session is 6BA. And with that, we completed the side part of the framework, and we move to the act, the final phase, but even possibly the most important, because it's when, okay, you got what the problem was, and you need to take an action, and then possibly to automate it for future happening of the same problem. In the act and the incident remediation, we see 3 major capabilities. The first one is the ability to have a collaborative incident remediation. So the ability to improve collaboration for faster incident resolution through chat-based operation and user-friendly dashboard. The second area, I said, is the area where you want to automate the response to a problem, to an issue that was solved the first time manually because it was the first time that you see it. And finally, the third area is about the predictive workload automation. So issues can happen on your online services, but even on batch. It's important to have a tool that will help you with the automation of the workload. So let's go through the three different areas of the act. And let me clarify one point. As we say, in the perfect world, all the responses and the action in front of an issue will be automated. However, there is always a first time that you get a new problem. And this is the reason why we provide all the monitoring and anomaly detection and tools to analyze the problem that we saw before. Then in the journey to IOPS, it is very important to improve the automation of your environments over and over your journey to reduce the need for manual intervention. So in the outstanding, let's say, companies in the journey to IOPS, they have something like a periodic review of what's automated to improve the automation to answer to new issues that were identified in the meantime, with a collection of what were the actions that were taken based on the specific issue and incident, and the coding, let's say, the transformation of those automation in a specific automated action that will be part of the automation framework. And here is where the intelligent automation feature and the predictive workload automation will help you to reduce over time the need for manual intervention, the need for subject matter expert to be busy in just taking up what is alive and to spend more time on innovation, adding new services to your environment. So looking at the collaborative incident remediation, what provides this feature through IBM ZShutOps and the Service Management Unite is the ability to work effectively across teams, a remote workforce, leveraging the chat tool already in use in your enterprise. With the pandemic, the use of chat tools was even increased versus the past, with the use of collaborative tools has been even increased with people that are working from home. But even without the pandemic, we have frequently teams that are spread over the world, over different locations, and they need to collaborate through a collaborate tool. What we are proposing here is to have a chatbot that enable the people, even working remotely, but having access to the same data, be alerted on the problems. And with the integration with Service Management Unite, you will see it will help you even to drill down information from the chat to a nice and modern dashboard. APIS was able to achieve 99.91% availability under SLA for your hybrid environment. So not only including mainframe, where this number could be even low, but including even open systems. So what are the offerings? These ZShutOps and Service Management Unite are part of the Service Management Suite, IBM Z Service Management Suite, IBM Z Service Automation Suite, and even IBM Z Monitoring Suite. So those are free of charge components available as part of the suite offerings. Service Management Unite is a user-friendly and high customizable web dashboards that provides a set of dashboards to navigate and to have details on performance management metrics, to have details on automated resources, network management metrics, and even workload scheduling information. Through Service Management Unite, you have a single point of control across the different domains. You can easily move from one domain to another. The addition of ZShutOps enables you to interact with a chatbot to, for example, ask information about all of your systems. It will provide you the list of the systems, and then you can even drill down on the automated resources on that specific system. In the chat, you will have link to open in context the Service Management Unite dashboard and to have more drill down information. And from this Service Management Unite dashboard, you can take action to solve the problem that was identified. And once the problem is solved and you want to share back with your team what was the solution of the problem, you can just obviously link the specific dashboard and share back to the chat. To have more details on both offerings, I invite you to join Wolfgang's session, the session 3AS, that will be on Tuesday, November 9 at 9 a.m. So next week, Tuesday next week. We say that the automation is key to free up resources from keeping stable what is available today and dedicate them to the innovation. And our automation tool is the IBM System Automation that is part of the Service Automation Suite. Through the IBM System Automation, you can remediate incidents in a consistent and structured manner across your environment. So with the importance of IBM System Automation as automation tool is that you are able to, through the automation, to enable an automated response that will be the same across your environment and across the time for the same problem. It enables timely communication through subject matter expert with integration with AIOps on automated resources. And KKH was recently moved to system automation, and they found that they strongly reduced the need for coding to implement cross-enterprise system automation. So looking at the more detailed information on IBM System Automation, you can see that through IBM System Automation, you are able to manage automated resources not only on mainframe, but even on distributed platform like Windows, AIX, Linux, and so on, in a single view. Through the Service Management Unite dashboard for automation, you are able to see all the automated resources with their dependency and their status in a single dashboard, being notified of the critical events, and drill down. You can then drill down on a specific system to have all these automated resources with their status and a topology view of the dependency between the automated resources. What is important in IBM System Automation, what is a differentiator versus the other automation tools that are on the market, that it is a policy-based automation. So you can define a policy that is a group of resources, dependencies, and then manage the policy as a single entity. It will help you even in the correlation between IT resources and business objectives. As part of the IBM System Automation and the Service Automation Suite, there is even the possibility to manage the hardware, and so to automate even the shutdown on the APL of your systems, LPAR or CPC. You have even the ability to manage the network with automated responses, for example, to intrusion detection, intrusion through the intrusion detection feature, and so on. Recently, it was added to IBM System Automation and IBM NetView, that is the basis for system automation, a full set of REST API to manage automated resources, and on top of those API, we added even the Zoe command line add-on to act on automated resources. For more details on IBM System Automation, I invite you to a session that will happen on November 11, next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Josie will deliver that presentation. And last but not least, the feature of the AIOps framework is the predictive workload automation. The offering in this case is IBM Z Workload Scheduler, again part of the IBM Z Service Automation Suite. Monte Paschi di Siena is an big Italian bank that significantly reduced the cost, gaining a single point of control across all the server in their environment, mainframe and distributed. It's because through the IBM Z Workload Scheduler, it is possible to manage the workload end-to-end and through a single point of control across multiple platforms, but even across business application. The important aspect is that it allows you to keep under control the service level agreement constraint with automatic recovery action in case of violation risk identified. So going in more details on IBM Z Workload Scheduler features, I would start from the possibility to manage workload across your entire enterprise. So manage workload on mainframe, distributed platform, containerized applications, and cloud environments. Everything is manageable through a modern user interface that is called Dynamic Workload Console that now runs even on Z container extension. So you can have the full environment available on ZOS and managing it without having the need of a distributed server just for the web UI. It provides embedded predictive analytics to identify risk of service level agreement violations with automatic remediation, and even with the possibility through the what if simulation dashboard to simulate changes in your environment. Simulate changes in your environment and see the side effect of the changes that you simulated. Last year in April, it was added that the integration with Zoe, more specifically, the full set of REST API that were already available to interact with the IBM Z Workload Scheduler are now available even as part of the Zoe API mediation layer, and to enable an integration with the DevOps tools, a Zoe command line extension was provided as well. Finally, are available a wide variety of additional job types that are downloadable through the Automation Hub. Most of them are free of charge, available, and you can have integration, for example, with Ansible or with all your business, let's say, applications. To learn more about IBM Z Workload Scheduler, there are multiple sessions in this conference. I just want to mention a couple. One is a session that will happen just after this one, at 10:30 UK time today, and Marco Cartelli will deliver it, and it will be about the roadmap and the strategy of the product. Another session that I'm mentioning is tomorrow, 9 AM, with Federica speaking about the Zoe extensions, but that's it. If you look at the agenda, there are multiple sessions on work with the IBM Z Workload Scheduler. With that said, I invite you to qualify yourself for an IOPS assessment with IBM Z to identify what are your next step in the journey to IOPS. If you want to have a try on Service Management Unite, Omega for JVM, CPM Connect, or Operational Analytics, you can have an hands-on for free today through the IBM Z trial offerings. And I invite you to join the IBM Z community to be always informed of the latest news, technical collaterals, blogs, and so on. Here in the presentation, you will get that you can download from the website. There are the link to the different product pages, most of the product pages of the product that I mentioned during the presentation, as well as the link to the Zoe project community. And I will leave the last few minutes to the audience if there is any question on this overview of offerings for the journey to IOPS, reminding you to submit your session feedback. This session is the session 3AA, and you can do it online with the link that is provided here. you can become a member of JSC UK, and you have all the information in the presentation as well. And with that said, I think now we can open for questions, if any. I don't see any questions so far in the chat.
Yeah, nothing in the chat. I'm just going to allow people to unmute. Everybody is now unmuted. If you would like to, or you can unmute yourself, I should say, and be free to ask Domenico any questions that come to mind. Okay.
So, main goal of this presentation obviously was not to give you deep dive information on a single offering, since it is the, let's say, the first session of the track. I wanted to give you a contextualized, let's say, position of the different offerings in our framework, how we approached it. So starting from the problem to the framework and the different phases and the different offerings. Now you have at least an high-level view of the different, how the different offerings collaborate with journey to IOPS, and now you can drill down in the different sessions that I pointed, but there are even more in the conference.
Okay, so if there are no questions, please do your feedback. That's useful for us for other conferences, hopefully another one next year, hopefully hybrid, but we shall obviously see closer to the time. Just a reminder that for question, I think it's question 5, there's a the question, the correct answer is 5 and not 9. Just the way the question's wording. And hope to see you all on some other sessions. Don't forget to support the charities, and I shall now just lead the round of applause for Domenico for spending his time with us.
Thank you, everybody, and feel free to contact me even after you have my email address.